मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। रत्नाकराधौतपदां हिमालयकिरीटिनीं ब्रह्मराजर्षिरत्नाढ्यां वन्दे भारतमातरं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Welcome everyone to this unique course, Stories from the Upanishads, Lessons for the Meaningful Life. Now we are on the 7th day of the course. From yesterday we have understood that apart from the course, story and learnings, there will be a philosophy to learn. Today also we are having one of the beautiful stories from the Chandogya Upanishads. And whose story is it? So before going to the story, let me tell you a small snippet from the Puranic story. I am taking it to make you understand. This is about a boy who was a son of a servant maid, leading a very good happy life. Once it happened so, to his village many sannyasis, sadhus, monks came for the Chaturmasya Vrata, the 4 months when during the rainy season they stay in one place and do puja, punaskara, discourses and all those things. This young boy, though very young, he always felt so much affectionate to these sannyasis. He was going and doing service to them. He was doing the Guru Seva. He was having the Satsangha. He was asking questions and he was inspired and influenced by them. Just the 4 months of their stay in that village transformed his whole life. His attitude and attitude towards life was completely changed. His perspective towards what life is, what he wants out of life was changed. So they all went and his life started. And after a few years, his mother also passed away. He considered it as the God's will and he became a person who was wandering in different places, contemplating on the message that he had learnt few years back. Always in satsang, always in kirtan, always in bhajan. Such a kind of ascetic life, where religious life, where anyone could see he is a person with great punya. And he died. Many may be thinking, okay, he died, so what? He was reborn. He was reborn because of the so much of punya that he had because of this devotion that he had towards God. He was reborn as the Brahmamanasa Putra Narada. This is the story of Narada from the Chandogya Upanishad, 7th chapter. We all know Narada means, looking at the movies and all, he is considered more as a Kalaha Priya, the fitting master. But if we see the true character of Narada, he is not a Kalaha Priya. He is a Loka Kalyana Kartru. He does everything for the Loka Kalyana. And he is not a fearful person. He is always a courageous person. He was singing the glories of God. We all would have heard this. But this story from the Upanishad shows us what kind of thought process Narada had. So let's directly get into the Chandogya Upanishad, 7th chapter. Narada, who had learned lot of sciences and who was a great saint and a sage, was popularly called as Devarshi, who could go to different planes, different lokas by his will. The 7 lokas high, 7 lokas down. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyaloka. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. All 14 lokas he could go by his will. He is considered something as a person, a journalist without any barriers. He could get all knowledge from different lokas. He understood all cultures. He had all knowledge also. But in spite of all these things, once when he was moving in the Bhuloka, few monks, few great scholars were discussing about a topic. And he went there and they were discussing very seriously, very intricate details of Vedanta. So he went and asked, what is this topic? I do not know this. What is this topic? Then they told, this is a Vedantic topic about the true self. Oh, okay. But I do not know what is this. Can you please teach me? Narada Devarshi is asking the humans to become teachers. That is the kind of humility that Narada showcased, exhibited. But the monks there, scholars there, they felt themselves to be not so qualified to teach Narada, because Narada is such high qualified, such a great stature of saint, Devarshi, we can't teach you. We can't teach you. But if you want to know this knowledge of self, you need to approach a guru who is competent and who can teach a person like your caliber. Go and search for him. And Narada felt, he had so much of humility. He always felt, I am nothing in front of God and everyone are God. Everyone can teach. But he was told that you need to approach a person with that position and knowledge. So Narada was searching for such a guru, and to his mind, one person came. And who was it? The Sanatkumara, one more Brahmana Manasa Putra, kind of a sibling. From his young age, Sanatkumara, he always embraced Vairagya and knowledge. He is an epitome of the self-knowledge. That's what Shankaracharya in his Bhagavad Gita Bhashya says. The Nivritti Dharma was started by the Brahma Manasa Putra called the Sanatkumaras. So he felt, let me go to Sanatkumara and seek knowledge. So he directly goes to Sanatkumara and he prostrates to him, pays respects. And Sanatkumara in return pays respects to Narada, because Narada himself was a great Devarshi. So both of them have the mutual respect towards each other. And after that, Narada asks, I want to learn from you. Please accept me as your disciple. Sanatkumara sees Narada, who is a Devarshi, who knows so many things, and he says, you want me to teach and you want me to accept you as my disciple? Okay, but I want to know what all you know already, so that I can know whether I have something to offer you. Without knowing what you know, if I teach you whatever I know, it may become boring. Or if I teach you something too high, it may be not understandable or comprehensible by you. So that's why you tell me what you know. Narada was ready to tell, but Sanatkumara told, no, don't hurry. Go home. Start writing whatever you know. Start making a list of whatever you know. Tomorrow you come at the right time and tell me whatever you know. Narada went back and started thinking whatever expertise he had. Started making a list of whatever things he knew. And he started making a list of whatever expertise he had, so that Guru will accept me and Guru will teach me whatever I don't know and whatever I seek for. So the whole night he made the list. The next day he goes to on the right time, allotted time, and prostrates to the Guru, Sanatkumara, and he says, please accept me as your disciple. Sanatkumara says, okay, but have you done the homework? What was the homework? Have you made a list of what all things that you know? Narada said, yes, I am an obedient student. I have done the homework. Can you please tell me what all knowledge, what all sciences you know? Then Narada starts telling, but before telling, he says, I know only this much. I know only this much. With that humility, he starts. Okay, tell me what all you know. He starts giving the list. Upanishads gives the list. He says, I know Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. The Chatur Vedas are known to me. Just imagine, the 4 Vedas are known to him. Then he continues, I know Vyakarana, the grammar. I know Nirukta, the etymology, the dictionary of all the Vedic words. I know that. Then he went on to say, I know Nidhi Vidya. Nidhi Vidya means wherever the treasure is, I can know where exactly the treasure and how to dig it out. Even water is a Nidhi. Even to dig water, people use different machines. Narada says, I know Nidhi Vidya. Then he continues, he knows, I know Karma Shastra, the details about how to do rituals, how to do meditation. Continues, he says, I know Raja Dharma and Niti Shastra. He continues, I know Jyotisha, astrology. I know Nakshatra Vidya, astronomy. I know Bhuta Vidya. Bhuta means not the ghosts and all. Here Bhuta means elements, the chemistry. Chemistry. He knows he is the master in chemistry, material sciences. He says, I know Kshatra Vidya, warfare. Most of us may not know Narada was good at warfare, the Chaduranga. He says, I am well versed in Devajana Vidya. What is Devajana Vidya? Performing arts, music, dance, all kinds of arts. I am good at performance arts. I am good at Tarka Shastra, meaning logic. I know Itihasa. We all know, even he was the person who inspired Valmiki to write Ramayana. Even Mahabharata, he comes as a part in many places. He says, I know Puranas, because he was the person who inspired Vyasa to write Bhagavata Puranam. So much he says. And he says finally, I know Sarpavidya, even to neutralize poison. He says, so many things I know as in detail, and many things I know as to a great extent. Just imagine, he knows all sciences, he knows medicine, he knows technology, he knows arts, he knows commerce, he knows economics, he knows ethics, he knows morals. Then, hearing all this, then Sanatkumara says, okay, you know so much. What else do you want? What else do you want? What else you are searching for or seeking for? Then Narada says, I know so many things, but still I am grieving. I am in sorrow. Many people are in sorrow in the whole world, but I am also in sorrow. I am a scholarly, sorrowful person. Why are you in sorrow? Then Narada says, I have heard from many Mahatmas. I have heard from many Mahatmas like you, taratishokamatmavit. Whoever knows Atma, they alone have crossed the ocean of grief. I do not know the atmavidya, the Brahmavidya, the self-knowledge. That's why I am in grief. Though I may have a temporary pleasure, I may have a bhajanananda, always in pleasure thinking about God, but that is not eternal. I have come to know that Atmavidya is the only eternal thing. Brahmavidya is the only infinite thing. So I have come here to know the Brahmavidya. Please accept me as your disciple and teach me the Brahmavidya. And looking at the humility, looking at the logic, looking at the qualifications Narada had, Sanatkumara accepts Narada as his disciple and says, I will teach you. I will be definitely teaching you the Brahmavidya. And for Brahmavidya, you need to understand what is Brahman is the infinite. Infinite is Brahman. Whatever you told now, the Vedas, the Chaturvedas, the Puranas, the Itihasas, the Sarpavidya, the Nidhividya, the Jyotishavidya, the Nakshatravidya, all these things are mere words. They cannot give you the substance that you are searching for. So you need to understand the substance. Then Narada asks Sanatkumara, all these things are mere words. Means, is it not infinite? Sanatkumara says, no, these are not infinite. These are just finite things. Is there anything that is more subtle, more pervasive, more bigger than this? Sanatkumara says, yes, it is there. There is something bigger than this. Can you please teach me that? All these are words. Please understand the cause of words. From where these words come, that is more subtle. That is more pervasive. Narada asks, what is it? Words come out of speech, the tongue, and the power of speech, vak, in Sanskrit, vak, that is more pervasive, that is more subtler, that is more powerful than all these words. Understand that and meditate on that. Narada understands, okay, yeah, I understood. This is more subtler, this is more powerful, this is more pervasive. Yes, now I meditated. Now tell me, is words, I understood words are not infinite. Is power of speech, vak, infinite? Then Sanatkumara says, no, it is not infinite. It is also finite. It is also finite. Then what is infinite? There is something higher. Oh, there is something higher than vak, the power of speech? Yes. What is the higher thing, higher than power of speech? Sanatkumara says, the words are more powerful, but words come from the power of speech. But how do you control words is through your mind. And that too, sankalpa. You get a desire to speak. That's how speech comes. So sankalpa is higher than words. Narada understands, yes, I understood it. Please take me higher. Is there anything higher? Yes, that is also finite. I will take you to a next level. What is it? Mind. Beyond even the sankalpa, there is something higher. What is it? That is the deciding factor of what is proper and improper. Sankalpa should be a proper sankalpa. So understand it. That is more higher. Manaha. That is higher. So understand it. He understands it. What is next? He says Chitta. What is Chitta? Chitta meaning understanding the whole situation, whole environment, then making a decision what is proper, improper. And like this, he goes on to 15 steps of taking from the nama to the vak, to the manas, to the sankalpa, to the chitta. He goes on and on and on, prana, akasha, anna, and he goes on 15 levels. That's how a teacher takes a student step by step from where he is to the next step. And Sanatkumara, after 15 steps, did you understand? Narada says, yes, I understood the subtlest thing that you mentioned. Is this infinite? Sanatkumara says, no, this is also not infinite. Then what is infinite? Sanatkumara says in one beautiful sentence, that is, Yovai Bhuma Tat Sukham Nalpe Sukhamasti. Whatever is infinite, it itself is Ananda. Whatever is small, there is not even an iota of pleasure or happiness in it. I understood it, but what is that? Then Sanatkumara again takes a 5-step process, a very beautiful, sophisticated way of teaching. He says, the first and foremost thing is, till you get your guru, you need to prepare yourself and qualify yourself. For that, what you have to do? Satkriti you have to do. Satyakriti you have to do. What is Satyakriti? It is Guru Shushrusha, it is Seva, it is Dama, sense control, Shama, mind control, it is Dana, all these karma, yoga, meditation, all these things you should do as Satyakriti, a preparation technique to know the self. Okay, afterwards what should I do? Approach a guru. Approach a guru and do what? Do Satya Shraddha. Have Shraddha on Satya. Shraddha on Satya means what? Shraddha on the Satya means Shraddha on the scriptures and Guru's teachings. Approach Guru and seek knowledge. Whatever he says, have faith in the words. Do Shravana. Shravana from the competent Guru. Okay, I heard it. I believe it. No, this is not Purana to believe. This is Vedanta. You have to inquire. There is a next step. What is that? Satyamati. Satyamati. You have to do manana, mathana of whatever your Guru says and ask question for the teacher how it is correct, how it is relevant, how it is making it as a reality in your life. Do manana. Okay, inquire within you and do manana. Satyamati. Mati. Then what I should do? Then make it to your own Satya Vijnaya. Make it your own knowledge. It should not remain in books. It should not remain in your head. It should become the reality of your life, not a part of life. It should become a reality of you. Understand that Satya Vijnaya. So then what? What is this Satyakriti, Satyamati, Satya Shraddha, Satya Vijnaya? What is Satya? Then Narada says, Yo Satya Vai Bhuma. Satya Vai Bhuma. Here Satya means existence. Probably those who are familiar with Bhagavad Gita, they would understand. What is it? The Sadeva, no, that is the Chandogya Upanishad again. Whatever is existence, that alone comes into the world. Avyaktadinda Vyakta. From the unmanifest, manifest. Nabhave Asat. Asat is Abhava. Satya alone has Bhava. In the second chapter, 16th verse. 16th verse speaks about this existence principle. Existence principle. So with that, he says, Sat is what is important. The infinite is nothing but existence, consciousness, bliss. And if a person has to toil so much, do so much of hard work to attain such a highest thing, what is it? It is Ananda. With the desire of having bliss alone, he does so much of things. So that Ananta, Satya itself is Ananda. That's why we would have heard Shankaracharya in his Nirvana Shatka says, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. That existence, consciousness is bliss absolute. So with that, Brahma Ananda is important. Many people say, how come Ananda is Brahman? We have to do the Brahma Mimamsa. Many times we feel Ananda we acquire from the sense objects. Just examine. Let's assume a person has a sweet in his hand. So we always feel Ananda, the bliss or happiness comes from the object. If this sweet has Ananda, It should bring happiness to everyone and every time, all the time. But is that the reality? No. The sweet is not liked by everyone. Even the same person will not like the sweet even after a moment or after some time. So, happiness is not in the object. Then what can it be? In the process of eating? If in the process of eating there was happiness, we would be always eating because we want happiness. We would be always continuously 24/7 eating. Do we do that? No. What is the third option? Matter of elimination. There is no happiness in this object. There is no happiness in this kriya, the karma, action. Where else can it be? It is in me, the subject. Then you will say, if there was happiness in me, why would I go for object? Here comes the Brahma Mimamsa, the Upanishadic teaching, where it says, you are Ananda Swarupa, but you do not know that you are Ananda Swarupa. In ignorance, you are feeling you do not have it. Once you know the true reality, then you need not go in search of objects for happiness. You will derive happiness from within. How ignorance can be a problem? Let's assume I have a golden chain. And I am wearing it. But I have forgotten that I am wearing a golden chain, and I am searching here and there in nooks and corners of my room. I go out and search in the whole home, and I search in different places. People come and ask, what are you searching for? Golden necklace, golden chain. And everyone will search. But at that time, one person comes and says, what are you searching for? Golden chain. And he sees my neck and he says, what you are searching for is with you itself. Oh, I got it. Now I found it. Had you really lost it? No. You are ignorant of the fact that you already had it. In the similar way, the Ananda, the Bhagavan, Brahman is nothing but we ourselves. Without knowing our true nature, we are searching happiness out. The true fountain of happiness is within us. If you seek, the seeker himself is the sought. The Brahman is within you and you are that Brahman, is the Upanishadic teaching that was given by Sanatkumara to Narada, and Narada understands it, makes it a reality of his life and becomes popular in the whole world. So this is the story which comes in the Chandogya Upanishad, 7th chapter, Bhumavidya. Now, what are the key learnings that we can cull out from this story? The effect of Satsangha. Narada was a son of servant maid. He was born as Narada because of the Satsangha that he had. That's why in Bhajagovindam, Shankaracharya says, Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivan mukti. So, associate yourself in such good with people where you get along with the people who always speak about spiritual things, bhajans, meditation, Vedantic principles, so that from that satsanga you lose interest in all dussanga. You lose the moha, attachments to the world, and you get attracted towards the spirituality, and you get the nischala chitta, and finally jivan mukti happens. Karma and samskaras, they don't stop at any janma, they continue. That's what we can see in this story. And material study, whatever Narada learnt, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, is it waste? No. They are all very good for our material comfort. We can acquire money, we can acquire wealth, we can get name, we can get fame. All these things we can get. But all these things are good. Please learn Veda, learn Purana, learn Itihasa. Everything is good. But for atmavidya, you need to know Paravidya. These are all called Aparavidya. There is one Paravidya, that is the Brahmavidya or Atmavidya. These things are only scholarly. If you want to know yourself, approach a guru. Just like Narada approached Sanatkumara, even though a Devarshi went in search of a guru. Please don't have the arrogance, I don't require a guru. Even Narada had that humility to approach a guru. Let us approach a guru. And he was a great student. Why? He knows what he knows. He knows what he doesn't know. And he knows whom to approach and get what he wanted. And Sanatkumara, being a great teacher, he takes the student from step by step in different phases, making his mind, taking his mind from gross to the subtle, to the subtler, to the subtlest, and the most subtlest, finally coming to the self. Sanatkumara instructs him in the golden way of education. What are the golden rules of education? From known to the unknown. He takes from known to unknown. He knew words. From words he took him to walk to manaha, manaha to chitta, sankalpa, sankalpa to chitta, finally taking him to Brahma, the Brahman. So, known to unknown, simple to complex, gross to subtle, and from object to subject himself. This is the golden rules of teaching or education. And the purpose of goal of education is to make you understand your own true self. As Vivekananda says, the goal of education is to manifest the perfection already in man. Let us all understand the true potential, true perfection, divinity that exists within us by approaching a guru, understanding the Vedantic principles, do Shravana, do Manana and Nididhyasana, making the knowledge become a reality in our life. And let us learn many learnings from this story. With that, let us conclude the story with the Shanti Mantra. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.